Nnamdi Kanu court trial finally come up with another turn which nobody actually expected. The court burst few hours ago. BIAFRANS jubilate and they scream out in court few hours ago. They scream out joyfully just because Nnamdi Kanu trial enter into another level. Sowore finally appear in court to be a witness to Nnamdi Kanu when nobody expected it. He bring down DSS witness and destroy Tinubu based on the allegations that they put on Nnamdi Kanu. You will hear everything that Sowore said, everything that nobody really knows. Sowore made everything clear to the judge few hours ago in court. I'd like us to stay connected to the end of the video. If you can share the video as you're watching it, just do what to share it, because I'm going to be playing you the full video. You see things the way it goes. So if you can share the video, share it. If you can share it, just like it. Stay connected as I give you everything that goes on in the court few hours ago. I'm coming back again.
Welcome you back to LAJUPOG Watch TV.
I don't have bad news for you today.
The home of religious gossip.
But you should leave the fight for Mohammed.
What is happening in the Christendom? Join now to make sense with LAJUPOG.
Hello my great and wonderful viewers, welcome back to LAJUPOG Watch TV. For this one, if you come across this channel for the very first time, just do to click the registration button appearing over the screen, and at the same time click the notification bell icon so that whenever we drop a new video in few hours time, YouTube will easily let you know. The court burst out few hours ago. Omontosho court burst out few hours ago. BIAFRANS were screaming in jubilation because they never expected what happened few hours ago in the court. So Sowore entered the court suddenly without anybody knowing that. So Sowore will appear in court and be a witness for Nnamdi Kanu. Nnamdi Kanu will be going to the court without witness. It have been the DSS people that have always been going to the court with their witness. Nnamdi Kanu have not in any way appeared in the court with his own personal witness. Nobody even know that Nnamdi Kanu can have a witness. And you know what happened in the previous ruling that was made on June 13, few days ago. You can see how the DSS actually went Nnamdi Kanu in court when nobody even expected it. The lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu were just seated in court. They couldn't even object. They couldn't even do anything. They were just watching as the DSS is bringing up evidences against Nnamdi Kanu, and they couldn't do anything. But few hours ago, Sowore entered the court and he destroyed everything that the DSS have been building against Nnamdi Kanu. He destroyed Tinubu. He exposed everything that they have against the Igbos. The BIAFRANS have been jubilating because they did not know the thank you that they can actually make to this man. Let me play you the full video. You see everything the way it goes in court. So I'd like us to stay connected to the end of this video as you're watching it. If you can share the video, just do what to share it. Share it to different social media platforms. Let it go viral. And if you can share it, just like it. Like it, give it a thumb up. If you're a BIAFRANS, just do well to drop your heart for Nnamdi Kanu at the comment section. Drop your heart for Nnamdi Kanu. Share the video. Let a lot of people get to see it as we run into what happened in the court. Now, let me play you everything that happened in the court. The way it goes, you hear everything that Sowore said against Tinubu and what they're planning to do to the Igbos. You see things for yourself as we roll on. Now, prior to everything that happened in court, the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has said the Nigerian government tendered a statement allegedly made by a dead man in the ongoing terrorism trial of its leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. IPOB made the assertion in a statement released by his spokesman, Iman Powerful, during the proceedings of June 30, 2025. That was the previous proceedings.
An agent of the Department of State Service, DSS, while testifying for the prosecution, tendered a newspaper publication which contained a statement said to have been made by an IPOB member, Emeyiri Uzoma Benjamin, aka Onye Ami. Onye Ami allegedly said the group was able to get 30 heads for the burial of a commander of the Eastern Security Network, ESN.
You can see what is going on. That was to tell you that DSS actually won the June 13 ruling and the trial of Nnamdi Kanu in the court. They won Nnamdi Kanu hands down, and that is what the IPOB people are addressing. And let's continue. Let's roll on. You will see where we're heading to. You see the moment Sowore stormed the court.
Nwonkike Ayinayo and the popular known as Nkonso, who was killed by security forces in April 2021 in Awomama, Oru East local government area of Imo State. The prosecution witness alleged that Kanu in a broadcast said 2,000 heads would be used to bury the ESN commander. However, in the statement titled, "The Nigerian government has finally reduced itself to rendering dead man statements in its failed case against Nnamdi Kanu," IPOB said Onyekame is late, adding that he did not make any statement in court. Now, since Onyekame is late, why would the DSS bring the statement of Onyekame as a witness statement against Nnamdi Kanu in court, when the person that can actually validate the statement, when the person that can actually ascertain the statement, the person they can confirm from that maybe the statement is true or false, the person is dead? Why would they bring the person's statement to court? Or why would they confirm maybe the person actually made the statement to the DSS, or they actually formulate it and all of that? How are they going to confirm since the person is not more alive? Now let's continue. IPOB alleged that the said Onyekame was killed in DSS custody. Faulting the use of the statement as evidence, IPOB stressed that Onyekame cannot be available for cross-examination to authenticate the claims. The statement said, "The so-called trial of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, which has long degenerated into psychos, reached its lowest point yet in Abuja a few days ago. In a desperate attempt to sustain their collapsed case, the Nigerian government, through Awomolo SAN, shamelessly presented as evidence a newspaper publication which purportedly quoted a man named Onyekame. According to Vanguard newspaper, Onyekame allegedly confessed that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu ordered him to kill 2,000 people, but he managed to kill only 30. Let it be made clear to the Nigerian public and the international community, Onyekame never appeared in court. He never testified. This so-called statement was never given in court or even directly to the DSS investigators handling the case. Instead, it was PWDDD, a DSS operative, who merely read out what Vanguard newspaper claimed that Onyekame said. Incredibly, PWDDD admitted under oath that he never interviewed Onyekame and had no first-hand knowledge of any such confession. Now, this is where Sowore ran in. This is where they played the full record of Sowore to the judge in court. The lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu actually did a very good job based on this one. Now, listen to everything that Sowore said in the clip that they played in court a few hours ago that brings Tinubu and even the DSS down and all of that. See things for yourself. If you can share the video, just do it to share it. And if you can share it, just like it. I'm coming back again.
But one guy who says, "Oh, we want justice, we don't want to stay in Nigeria," we are holding him perpetually using the judiciary or judicial, subterfuge to keep the trial. Now, everybody who knows what they are doing understand that it's not a judicial matter.
So Nnamdi is essentially a political prisoner.
He's a political hostage. Well, I'll call him not a political because he may not. Whomever is in power, except me, will keep him in jail.
So do you think that Igbos generally are endangered species in Nigeria? Going back what you just
narrated? The truth, that's the truth. Nigeria did not forgive Igbos since the end of the Civil War.
What did they do?
Because they challenged the real estate of the British called Nigeria. So, and they didn't forgive them since then. So everything that's been done after that, we know this is the unspoken truth about the country called Nigeria, that they did not forgive Igbos for the Civil War.
The Igbos were the victims and they have forgiven the victims. So why is it difficult for the victors to...
You are preaching to the choir.
And because he had mentioned once that, in an interview, he had mentioned that the Igbos will never be president of Nigeria. There is a perpetual, narration to keep the Igbos where they are.
Yeah, so, it's not about even the presidency. If they find an Igbo man that is malleable, that can work in their interests, they can make him president if he doesn't have any power. You can be a president of Nigeria and not have the powers of the president. When they wanted to destroy the landmark, who was the minister in charge? It's not an Igbo man.
And Moka is Igbo speaking, also fighting.
It's easier for them to use an Igbo man to carry out. If it was done by a Yoruba man, the uproar would have been worse. But you find an Igbo minister of works to help you demolish Igbo businessman. You say, can you see them? So it's easier that way. It's manipulation. It's how Nigeria manipulate people. But I'm not saying that if he was a Yoruba minister, he cannot demolish. They will do it too. It's easy. Anybody could have done it as long as there's an agreement to do it. Because beyond just ethnicity, there's also an elite conspiracy against Nigerian people. So an average poor person is endangered. But you are likely more endangered if you have committed a generational crime against the Nigerian real estate.
By being an Igbo man.
Of course, that's the truth. You know, that's why you were saying, oh, you are Yoruba man. You know, if based on what I say, they even tell me I'm not Yoruba enough. You know, but I'm of mixed heritage. There's a part of me that is Ijo. Okay. But we are the Ijo speaking Yorubas. The Yoruba speaking Ijos in Ondo State. Okay. So they call us Ijo Apoy.
Ilaje area.
No, it's Ilaje. So we're next to Ilaje.
Okay.
But my great grandparents came from Yoruba side of things. But the stream that Sowore is named after is in Ijebu water side, because that's how they came. So, but you know, I don't speak to people based on ethnicity. I don't define myself based on my ethnic heritage, even though I do not deny it. But because it underlies our humanity to be assigned an ethnic position before you can be respected. Are you getting my point? Or before your views can carry on, so you have to be a Yoruba man, and then it was all.
So we've had
Here comes
Rwanda.
one of them.
We've had Rwanda manage the same ethnic issue in their country with the Hutsi Tutsi thing after years of
Are you
genocide.
sure they managed it?
Well, to a reasonable
extent. They manage
extent.
it through genocide. And Nigeria
After
also,
genocide management.
So this is what you should understand.
Okay.
Nigeria also managed the Igbo problem through genocide. 4 million Igbos.
Yeah, I was coming to that.
Is that not genocide? But you know the problem I have sometimes even with some of our people is that the same people who shot and killed them are more popular in their midst than those who support their rights. The Obasanjos of this world are embraced as authentic people, but these are the people who went and used top commando to massacre Igbos. What did they name this airport after? Murtala Mohammed, one of the most notorious killers of Igbos. Buhari, they kill Igbos. Danjuma, they kill Igbos. Gowon, they kill Igbos. But they even love them more than they love those of us who are fighting. People challenge me that, they hate me because I support Nnamdi Kanu. And I say, so be it. Because I know that I'm supporting justice. And I cannot support injustice because I want political favors from a country. If you want to keep carrying out genocide of political nature or continuation of it, you can go ahead. Keep voting for the criminals who are perpetrating it. Let the forest be voting for the axe because the handle is from one of them.
Okay. I said something. I'd like you to touch more on it. I mean, the Igbos were victims. Now they are forgiving the victors. There is no place you don't find the footprints of Igbos across the length and breadth.
That's why I say you are preaching to the choir. Igbos are not only in Nigeria, they are all over the world. I went to Alabama in the US, and the only pharmacist there is an Igbo man. Selma, Alabama. You've heard about Selma?
Yeah.
It's one of the homes of the civil rights movement, where they cross that Petra Bridge.
Exactly.
Igbo man is there. Most likely that's what you find in every community in the US. Igbos are distributed all over the world. There's this urban legend that if Igbos cannot live in a place, the place is not livable. There was a time, a New York Times reporter came to Gamboru Gala after Boko Haram sacked the place. The only person they found there who was not a Boko Haram member, was an Igbo pharmacist. So what are you doing here? He said, well, somebody has to treat them. He was that courageous not to stay there. So I'm saying all these things so that you can understand that I understand probably more consciously better than most people do. And that informs the reason I can speak categorically about the victimization of Igbo. Otherwise, it is a taboo. Politically, it is incorrect to say that Igbos are victimized by an average Nigerian.
Okay. All right. So let's move
because nobody wants to hear the truth. And when you say, if somebody is watching me and get out and say, Sowore, what's your problem now? Leave these Igbo people alone. You understand? That is the truth. But I cannot, my conscience cannot allow me to accommodate the genocide of 3 million people, 4 million people, and then the continuation of that denunciation of the existence through persecution in which the Nigerian state is carrying out, either through landmark or Nnamdi Kanu or look, I told a story, I think it was on a Honest Punch, that in this country there was a time they were beheading Igbos, putting their heads in calabash and putting on the trains going.
Do you think that's what's happening in the East right now? Speaking about militarization.
Pogrom, you understand? And that's why they're doing it. It's what they're doing. When we did August, what did we ask for? Demilitarization of the East and release of Nnamdi Kanu was one of our demands. But it was the most denounced demands, even by human rights people. They told us, no, don't include Kanu in your demands. Otherwise, we will not join you. Because Nigeria has been made to believe that a crime committed against Igbo doesn't fall under human rights abuse.
So let's speak about that crime against Igbo, because a popular, I think I read in your paper recently.
And unfortunately the Ohanese people said they should not join the protests, that they are negotiating with Tinubu. They even said that he will release him for Christmas gift, as if he's a Christmas goat.
All right, so speaking about this militarization of the Southeast, recently I read in your platform, a popular media mogul, one of the media platform in Lagos State, was dehumanized in the Southeast. He was traveling through Anambra State to Asaba Airport, and he was accosted, he and about 3 DSS officials were accosted by military personnel who, dehumanized them, told them to lie on the floor, in fact, told them they were going to shoot at them, told them that they were IPOB. Do you think there has been accusations that most of the people killed in the Southeast in the guise of IPOB are really not IPOB?
Exactly.
They were killed by military. Do you think that this is exactly what's happening?
These guys are burning down villages, Nigerian army. They are burning down villages. Like, if you are 17 years old in the East, you carry any kind of hairstyle and you run into a military checkpoint, you are automatically targeted. It's profiling.
Oh, wow.
You understand? But go to Katsina. Listen to this before we end this broadcast. The governor in Katsina said a whole local government with tons of bandits have only 5 policemen in their area. They have only 1 vehicle, no military. But there are bandits all over the place. Why is it that banditry and terrorism in the north is treated with kid gloves, and people who are asking for what is recognized by the United Nations as self-governance, the request for self-governance, is treated as a crime against the state? But terrorism is not treated the same way in the East. I traveled in the northern part of Nigeria during the election in 2019 and also in 2023. You can drive all the way from some of the most, bandits havens,
dangerous points, and there will be no policeman or army on the way. Okay.
But you cannot travel in the East today. Is 1 kilometer, 1 military battalion.
Unfortunately, that is what it is. Before we, can I ask you a personal question?
Go ahead.
You have we have spoken a lot here, and you are more like a definition of speaking truth to power. Sowore, do you fear for your life?
It's too late. My life had been taken several times, to the point that all I'm dedicated to is living my life one day at a time. And the reason is this. When I was leaving the university, I did not know, I left the university at the age of 24, 25. I did not know that I would make it up to 30. So I used to say at that time that I was living on borrowed times. I'm 54 now. If I die today and an autopsy is performed on me, they will find the heart of a 90-year-old man inside my body, because it's been a lot. My heart has carried a lot of pain and anguish, but I've carried on, and as a result, I cannot be afraid of my shadows when people who didn't even do half of what I've done have died of preventable diseases, some malaria. So people like me are lucky. And if you look at the life expectancy of a Nigerian man, I think it's now
50 something, 56,
54.
56.
So I've lived a few months above that. I'm going to be 55 in February. I've tried.
You're not going anywhere yet. But before you go, before you start going where you want to go to, let's look at 2027. There's been lots of, chess playing here and there against 2027. And then coalition of, some people are already saying that there is no way anybody can beat Bola Ahmed Tinubu in any election, irrespective of his performance.
No,
if they don't come together. What do you think is the way forward?
You can beat Tinubu in an election, but you cannot beat him in a selection. And that's what they are planning. They are not going to have another election.
Are you serious?
Yes, they're not.
How do you mean?
Well, let's start from here. Who conducts the election? INEC. Go and find out how many federal electoral commissioners were appointed by Tinubu who are APC card-carrying members to replace the ones that are retired. Almost, infinite. Did you know that Bola Tinubu appointed 11 Supreme Court justices since he came to power? These two bodies.
So there is no hope in Nigeria will continue like this?
Well, if you don't want to continue like this, make it very clear that we can't continue like this. And that has to happen now.
You can see everything that Sowore said in this very video that I just finished watching. Now let's continue with everything that happened in court after what Sowore said. You hear things for yourself. Just stay connected as we roll on and see things for yourself the way it goes.
Now, let's kick on. The most grotesque part of this charade is that Onyema is dead, killed while in DSS custody. He is not available for cross-examination, verification or confirmation of any statement attributed to him. This is not law. This is not justice. This is outright fraud upon the court.
Now, you can see what is going on. You can see that the IPOB members that the DSS have been accusing in court, they now pointing finger at the DSS again. They said because the DSS wanted to bring out statement from Onyema, that's why they intentionally poof Onyema in their custody. The IPOB people are alleging the DSS now, is allegedly, they're not alleging the DSS that they were the one that poof Onyema in their custody just because they want to use some statement against Nnamdi Kanu just to bring Nnamdi Kanu down totally. Now let's ride on. Let's see what's going on in court. Drama is happening now. You can share the video, just share it as you're watching it. And if you can share it, just like it. Drop your heart for Nnamdi Kanu in the comment section of the video as we ride on.
Further faulting the evidence, the statement added, the Nigerian government has not fully descended into graveyard evidence, fabricating confession of people they have killed and tendering them through newspaper clippings. This scandalous conduct violates every known principle of Nigerian law, including Section 29 of the Evidence Act states that prohibiting involuntary unverified confession. Section 83, line 1 of the Evidence Act states that rendering third parties hearsay newspaper reports inadmissible. Section 36, line 6 of the Constitution states that guaranteeing the accused the right to confront his accusers. Section 36, line 8 of the Constitution states that prohibiting further prosecutions where punishment has already been served or exceeded. The statements further insisted that Kanu's trial is illegal, giving a number of reasons to justify the argument. Beyond the brazen evidentiary fraud, the trial itself remained fundamentally illegal for several reasons. Non-jurisdiction in Abuja, the Court of Appeal CA/ABJ/CR/625/2022 has already ruled that the alleged confess, if any, occurred in Ubunisi Uzo, Anambra State, and can only be tried by Federal High Court in Awka, not Abuja. The continuing proceedings in Abuja are in open contempt of that binding judgment. Violation of custom law (CEMA) under section 178 of CEMA law, jurisdiction lies only where the offense occurred or where the accused reside. Abuja meets neither of the condition. This Abuja trial is forum shopping and gross abuse of court process. Statute beard offense. Now, the alleged offense of importation or transmitter under CEMA carries a maximum limitation period of 5 years. More than 5 years have elapsed, rendering this prosecution legally dead on arrival.
Now, the fighting for the cause of Nnamdi Kanu as stating out what the Nigerian constitution and what the Nigerian law is stating, and this alone is actually kicking the DSS down. All the allegations against Nnamdi Kanu is going down the drain at the moment. Now, let's try it on.
Excessive detention. Nnamdi Kanu has been legally detained for nearly 4 years since his unlawful rendition or unlawful extradition from Kenya. This far exceeds the maximum penalty for the alleged custom offense, violating the constitutional right under section 36 line 8 and binding case law in Uzoku Ezono 2, 1991. The recent so-called inspection of a radio transmitter by Justice Omotosho inside DSS headquarters has no legal foundation. The Court of Appeal had already ruled that such matters belong in Awka, not Abuja. This exercise was nothing but media choreography to please blood-testing political hawks. IPOB added, the entire proceeding is nothing but a well-rehearsed media cycle designed to produce headlines, not justice. The Nigerian justice is being dragged into disrepute before the entire world. Every illegal act by this government in this matter only deepen Nigerian global disgrace. We remind the Nigerian government that injustice breeds chaos. No amount of manufactured evidence, fraudulent confession, or forum shopping will destroy the truth. The whole world is watching. The whole world is watching this charade. The only honorable path left is for this sham trial to be terminated. The only honorable part left is for the sham trial to be terminated immediately.
That's what the IPOB stated. Thank you for staying connected, my great and wonderful viewers. So you can hear everything that Sowore actually said in this very video. These are the evidences that they use against the DSS in court now. Sowore came out to unveil everything. He unveiled every of the pain that they actually did against the Igbos in different regions in Nigeria, especially in Lagos State. So Sowore made it known that if an average Igbo man should have a big business in the Lagos State there, they will do everything possible to use the Minister of Work and all of that to actually demolish the business. Though everything is alleged, but Sowore still make the allegation against the Nigerian government. He said the way they actually treating Igbos in Nigeria is different from the way they treating the Yorubas and all of that. And that's what is happening. What did the Igbos do to the Nigerian government? Why is it that the way they actually treat them is very, very different from the way they treat other tribes? That's what Sowore is making. That's the point that Sowore is making in this very video. And Sowore actually give Nnamdi Kanu a very good chance to actually win the government in court. You know, Nnamdi Kanu have been winning the court before, until the previous trial that they did before today's trial. It was the previous trial that they did that actually gave the DSS a very good chance to actually make a very good chance of winning Nnamdi Kanu in the court. They never had a chance again before, but it was the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu that flopped, and DSS won effortlessly, and they win Nnamdi Kanu hands down in the court in the June 13 case, because the lawyers of Nnamdi Kanu couldn't even object to every of the witnesses of DSS were actually bringing up as evidences, even when the evidences are coming up with the statement of a dead man. It is not done in anywhere in the world that a dead man statement will be used as evidence against a particular defendant. But the Nigerian government actually bring up the statement of Onye Ami, a dead man, an IPOB man that have died some time ago, where they arrested him, and when they arrested him, he made the allegation. According to DSS, they said they made a confession that 30 head have been delivered, and it remains more than 100 and something heads that the IPOB want to deliver, and all of that, just to honor a particular IPOB member that died in the hand of the Nigerian security operatives. Now, if the statement that guy, that IPOB man that DSS arrested then that have died, if the statement is false, how are we going to confirm in the court maybe the statement is false or not? Those are the questions that a lot of people are actually asking. How are they going to ascertain the fact that the statement is right or is wrong or is true or is false? The man that can prove it to them that is right or is wrong is dead. So how are they going to prove it? Why are they using it as part of their evidence in court? Those are the questions that a lot of people are asking, and that's why the IPOB people actually release a press statement and they make it known to the general public that this is what the Nigerian government is trying to do. They bring up a dead man statement, the dead man that cannot defend the statement again. They bring out the statement as an evidence against Nnamdi Kanu. Now drop your opinion in the comment section on this video based on everything that was said in this video and based on what Sowore said in court a few years ago. Drop your opinion. Everywhere is boiling right now, and BIAFRANS will be screaming in joy. Drop your opinion. As I'm going to get on that video for you and share. Follow me on my social media handles on Facebook at LAJUPOG TV and LAJUPOG Entertainment, on Instagram at LAJUPOG. Guess what, guys? See you in my next video, and bye for now.
I see the hot for my body, I say make I yarn you. Religious gossip plenty day for body. Pastor with the line on top, be pastor. For LAJUPOG watch TV. Pastor with the back, where politician with the do pass himself. Corrupt leader, all the while you waiting for church. All as LAJUPOG watch TV.